I brought Ganesha in to assist with the mic, and now this suddenly feels like a whole big reading when it's supposed to be. Yeah, supposed to. It's not. What is it supposed to be, right? Nah, this felt like something I had to put out into the world in a bigger way. But now that I brought Mr. Ganesha over here, the cards came out, the candle is lit, the incense is lit, and it doesn't feel such a small message anymore. Anyway, it's been a while since I've been here. It's been a long time, really. And I had the chance to have a session on Monday with a lovely person, and just last week I asked to have a session in English, and it happened. Very thankful for it. And that session created itself or manifested itself for a very long time. I remember talking to this person in spring, talking about homesickness for the stars, but it didn't manifest. We didn't meet up again. And now, after I've been in hermit mode for a couple of months from the socials, it's funny how I felt an opening in myself the first chance I got to get out of the city for a bit. Went to the countryside, and I was just standing in nature, surrounded by trees. I've had this mantra for a couple of months now, wanting to be surrounded more by trees than people. And it happened, and I didn't realize the magnitude of that until I was surrounded by trees, more trees than humans. And I had this moment where I felt completely grounded, completely in the moment, in the presence of someone much bigger than myself. And I felt the warm hug of Mother Nature, and I felt so at home. I felt like a little child being held so tight, kind of felt like being bundled up really tightly, and it felt so comforting and so good. I felt so held and so seen, and I was so grateful that I gave myself the chance to listen to myself deeply, and until that feeling of I need to be surrounded more by trees and humans actually manifested, not just brushing it off as I'm good for now. And in that moment there in the trees, when I felt the wind and I heard the birds, and it was just so nice and quiet. Nature was just waking up. The sun was just coming up. And I felt this opening, and I felt these connections coming online again that I disconnected myself from a couple of months ago. And I couldn't even tell you what was really the reason, but I guess now that I'm saying it out loud, I am getting the answer. I had to disconnect from everything spiritual to be completely in the pain of my human body. That sounds really deep, but it sounds so right. In a way, I guess I wasn't running to, or I didn't feel like I was hiding, but there was a deep pain in me that could only be resolved when I truly disconnected from like my crystals, like my magical little tools and things. And I came back from the countryside and I came home and I was like, I'm gonna put everything away. I had a few like altar spaces for specific energies that I felt that were working for me very well. And now there's only one. There's Ganesha and a few dragonflies that are significant to me, and everything else is clear in my space. I don't have a lot of things. And I even put my cards away. I didn't feel connection to them. So yeah, every little crafty thing that I made, like the Flower of Life wooden like charging stations I had everywhere, I put them all away just to feel me and feel deeply what was going on in my body. And that resulted in dissolving another layer of illusions for me. That was amazing. So it was weird to let go of this identity that I created for myself, but it helped me to feel more deeper into who I am as a pure being, and to feel more into the trauma that I was still storing, the energy that I was still storing in my body that wanted to be released at this time, at this divine time. And I asked for help. I asked for guidance for the new people in my life who are amazing healers as well. There's one lady I did like a constellation work with her, and by that point I was I had already been sick, as in healing, for 2 weeks already. I had a runny nose and a groggy throat, but it wasn't that bad. And as soon as we did the constellation and I worked things out, and I received the help from her to see the reality of energetic cords that I was still holding on to, images, illusions that I was still holding on to that weren't even mine to fix. And that was to do with family members, especially like the mother line. And after that session, I went home, and the next day my like cleansing through my runny nose and my throat got even worse. It was like, okay, something really released now. So I truly embraced it. I was so happy. And then I finally, as a separate long story, but I finally got my cat back living with me. She was living somewhere else for like 6 months, and now like 2 weeks ago she finally came to live with me. And she is truly a guide, as an animal guide, and she just yeah, telepathy is real with her. I really love that she's here now. And when she got here, I felt this huge chapter with my previous relationship that ended like a few years ago, and it finally ended where I felt like, oh, I got my cat back from that person, and everything that is mine is here. My energy, my things, my animal, everything is here. So I ended like multiple huge chapters in my life in the past couple of weeks, I would say. And it's been so curious to feel now that I am just being. I am just a presence. I'm just a presence. I am nothing, but I'm everything. And after that constellation, we ended on a note where everything that was supposed to be behind me and in my past now is in my past. And I was completely like facing the future with confidence, with calmness. I felt relaxed facing the future. So ever since that, I've had this calmness, this groundedness within me to just observe what is going on in my outer world and how do I want to react to it. And I've let a lot of energies go because I realize I no longer want to love these connections deeply, and I want to shift my love to everything that I want to love to the fullest. I don't know if that makes sense, but I felt like my love, as in my energy, was scattered to like a million places, to people I no longer had any contact with, to family members I had no contact with, to places and things that I had no connection to anymore, that weren't my energy wasn't really doing anything there. It was just attached there. So it wasn't like it was an attachment. Yeah, exactly. Attachment, exactly that what it is. And I called all my power back to me, from all the places, people, things that my energy doesn't no longer need to be in contact with. Like I called it all back. And I've been sitting in this process of feeling like, oh, like clip from the past comes up, and I'm like, oh, my energy's coming back from there. Oh, my energy's coming back from there too. And it feels really good to be in this position, to just observe and be a witness to all the places where my energy is coming back from. And I don't feel bad. I don't feel like I've wasted any time or anything really. I just feel that I am growing in love, and I am open to and observing and feeling into like where my love guides me. And love here just means energy. It means my pure essence, my pure energy, my pure being. And just like today, like last night when I was falling asleep, I could feel me doing this right now. So I was like, okay, I trust it. And this morning it got like the energy got stronger and stronger. I was like, hey, I'm trying to eat my breakfast. Can I eat my breakfast? It's like, no, you need to do it now. So I recorded a little clip just to get like the information, like the words that came in that moment, to get them out. But now as I'm sitting here, it becomes like a whole diary entry, and I kind of like it. I live for it. So long story long, in the past few weeks, I guess I've opened myself up to new people finding me, which is nice. I love new connections. I love talking to new people, just people in general. They don't have to be new specifically, but I noticed a similar theme coming up, so that's actually what I wanted to share. with you today because I felt like it might be really important to some of you, maybe all of you who was watching. And yeah, I had this session with this lady in the beginning of this week, and I was so excited. But you know, I've done sessions for like healing sessions or energy work sessions for like since 2019, 2018, I would say. So I've done them for a long time, and they've been ever changing. And I feel like I'm again at this point where they're ever changing. They're changing again, and I'm okay with it. I'm just along for the ride. I'm now at a place where I'm not trying to fit myself into any like category or like name or anything. I just want my presence to speak for itself. And that's exactly what I felt with this session. Kind of in my mind, I was like, okay, I need to prepare for it. What do I need to take with me? Like, just asking my higher self, asking my essence, like, do I need to take anything? Like, kind of going over stuff with myself. It was like, no, you don't need anything. Just be the presence that you are. And that day turned out to be like a really busy day. So by the time that I was getting ready for the session, it was like 7 in the evening. By that time, I was like, ooh, it had been so hot outside, and I had so much to do that day. I was running around, so I didn't feel that great. But something within that energy of the session the room had already been created, that kind of kept me in check all day. Like, I had this room, this energetic space it already created itself. I just physically needed to be there, you know? So that was really interesting that I, even like before, like 15 minutes before the session, was like, okay, what do I need to do? Da, da, da. And I was like, just be the presence that you are. Be present. Be here, be now. Call yourself back from everywhere, even more. And now I'm getting to the topic finally of the session, which was that she was homesick for the stars. And there's this beautiful card. If I can find it here, I would love to show it to you. It was a beautiful card, and it's this one. This beautiful card. And of course that card came out for her, and we talked, and I let her explain, like, what does she mean by being homesick. And when that card came out for me, like, I didn't really focus on pulling any cards. I just felt like this card like came to me into my mind's eye like a day before I even like met her, so I knew I had to bring those and show it to her as a visual, because the visuals on these cards are really nice. So we were talking about homesickness, and the information or the knowledge that I received was even like healing for me, because for many years I used to be homesick. I used to like go out at night, stare into the sky, just look at the stars, just be like this, just look at the stars, and feel so alone and so out of place, not knowing why I was there, what I was doing there, why, and it was a really it was like a physical pain at one point of really not understanding why I'm here. And that's what I felt from her, like the confusion and the like struggle of like, yeah, I've been trying a lot of things, but I don't know what am I supposed to do. And the key word here is, what am I supposed to do, when we're just supposed to be. And the information that came through for us was that when we're homesick for the stars, if you identify or feel like a starseed, or you feel like you're a really young soul or old soul, or however you feel, just if this resonates, what I received was that when you feel homesick for the stars, if you feel homesick to a place that is not here on earth, that means that you're missing connection with home. And your home is your body, your home is your essence. Our physical body was just given for us to navigate this 3D realm, right? But a bigger portion of us is not visible. It's you can sense it, you can feel it. It's a presence, it's a being. But when your body is so like stiff with energy, and there's so much that triggers you, there's a lot of trauma. And here I mean trauma as in stuck energy. I don't want to make one trauma bigger than the other or compare dramas. That's not how I see it. If it's something that triggered you and got stuck in your energy field, that's trauma, and that ultimately collects negative experiences so it can like look for negative experiences outside and like confirm that, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be like confused and have anxiety, right? When that's not the case. All of this is because it's trying to get us to contact home, contact our soul, contact our pure being, and let that pure being, that pure essence create through this physical body, through this voice, right? That's all it is. So when you feel homesick, you feel a disconnect with your body, you feel a disconnect with your soul, you feel like those two are disconnected. Your pure being, your pure essence is making you feel homesick because you're not connected to it. And last year or something, I was having a really tough time, and I felt like I felt a big disconnect, like dissociation even from myself, from my body. I was going through it. I was releasing a lot of shadow, and in the midst of like my physical body being going through such a big release, I had the confirmation of like, what is channeling? I'm drifting a little bit off, but it's gonna come together in the end. It's gonna make perfect sense. So I was like tapping into, or like getting the information of what channeling is, and I, as a human, was open to a sliver of information that I got from the outside world. That channeling is that I put myself into a state of being where I receive information from the outside, from the universe, the cosmos, God, however you want to say it. And that's illusion of separation, because we're not separate from God, we're not separate from the universe, we're not separate from love, only if we create the separation ourselves. And that's the human illusion of creating separation. One is better than the other, right? It's an illusion. So I opened myself to like this traumatic releasing of energy that I was going through, opened me up to the knowledge of the universal knowledge of channeling is not channeling, but it's we called it channeling because we allow, for that time that we're channeling, we allow more of our pure essence, our pure being to be manifested in the body and through the body. So I'm sure you know that soul is not in the body, but the body is in the soul. But when our physical body is holding on to trauma, holding on to energy, our pure being can't fully access all the potential that our body consciousness has. Our body consciousness is really smart and really powerful, but if the pure essence is not allowed to, by ourselves, not allowed to connect to it, it cannot speak through us. We can't find the words. We might feel the energy, but we don't use our masculine energy to manifest it, So channeling is actually a state of being that we are in all the time. It depends on only how much we are embodying our pure essence. So it doesn't matter if you are tired, it doesn't matter if you're prepared for a session, it doesn't matter if you're cleansed enough, none of those things matter if you live your human life according to your truth, the truth that comes from your body, the good truth, the bad truth, all the truth. And if you choose differently, if you choose to dissolve the separation, that's when you begin to embody your pure being, your pure soul, so much that you don't need to call yourself anything. You're just a being. You're not a doing, you are a being, right? You are a presence, you are an energy. So that's what we were talking about with my client the other day as well, is that what is the truth? And the truth is, like, if we come from a victim standpoint, the truth is really easy to just like blur out. But if you, like, for yourself, when you sit with your truth of things being bad or things being good, however the things are right now, if you can surrender to the truth of the moment, you can set yourself free. You create, with that act of love towards yourself, you create the space for your pure essence to speak through you more. And that is the point of all of this, right? So we're born into a paradox of a life, right? So you can see that the areas where you felt most stuck or suppressed, suppressed is the right word. The times or when you felt the most suppressed, or the things about you that were suppressed, right? As a child, we need to stay alive, okay? And as a child, you learn to read the cues, you read the energy anyway, and for your safety is number one. And parents are the ones that provide you with safety. And if they don't provide you emotional safety, physical safety, whatever kind of safety it is, you learn to create it somehow. And if that means being a good girl, being a good boy to your parents, and suppressing yourself, like in my childhood, I wasn't allowed to cry. I wasn't allowed to express my big emotions. And I am big on emotions. I love to express everything. I love to talk about everything that I feel. And not from like a victim standpoint where I need you to understand me. It's just that my truth is that I live my life in my truth. And my truth is living outward, not inward. It's weird that in the background I was thinking in Estonian and speaking in English, so I'm trying to feel into the words if they're energetically correct. Yeah, I, as a pure essence in this body, having this body, I love really deeply. I love enormously. When I love something or someone, they feel it. And I've noticed that sometimes people don't know how to receive it. They don't know how to receive love. And me too. And it's funny now that we're shifting gears a little bit. Okay. It is so natural for us to give love and receive love. But when our survival was about making others feel loved so that we can feel safe, then that love becomes toxic, and then we close ourselves off to all kinds of love. And love has many forms, right? Self-love, all of the love, right? But here I mean that I started to take notice and start feeling to like not just giving my love to anybody or anything, but feel where it's received. Because I noticed that with me, my love language is also like is words of affirmation, one of them. And I noticed that sometimes the words of affirmations are triggering. And I didn't mean them to be triggering, but it was an opportunity for that person to like accept more love. Not from me, but like open themselves up to the trigger that was brought up, release the energy, and then be able to embody more of who they are. And I noticed that a lot of people are not ready for that. And I've done so much healing and work with myself that I now really deeply feel the lies that people live in. They don't even tell anybody lies, they lie to themselves, right? So if I want to feel pure and open, and when I want to feel and embody divine love, then divine love can sometimes look different. It's not love and light, it's sometimes darkness. And when you embrace all of it, you embrace all of your human experience, then like congratulations, you are doing what you're supposed to be doing here on earth. You're feeling all of it. You're not only just living for the sweet and pleasant love, but you're living for the love that opens you up, the love that triggers you, the love that opens up trauma to be released so that you can be more of yourself. That's love, right? So it all comes back to truth, right? And if you allow yourself to feel the truth of your life right now, you can change it. If you don't allow yourself to see the truth that is happening right now, that is going on right now, you're kind of turning a blind eye to everything that is going on. You're turning a blind eye to yourself. That's not love. That's not love. That's avoidance. You're avoiding the love you could be experiencing in your body, in your being. If you are pure love, if you are pure essence, why not want to experience that through your whole being? Not just in a state of meditation, not just in a state of abusing medicine, right? So our natural state of being is divine, is pure. It's just, there's no explanation to it. It's just truth. It's just being. The shadow always wants to explain things or find meaning to things, but when you are in your truth, the truth of your being, in your pure being, there is no explanation to it. It's just a way of being, right? So I encourage you to embrace everything you're feeling in this moment, be it good or bad. Just be an observer to it. Like, look at all of the truth, even if your life is not at a place that you want it to be, or you have some fears that are really up and triggering you. Love them. Look at them, love them. Nothing happens to you. It's just energy that you're observing. Allow yourself to observe the truth of the moment. You don't have to connect to it. You don't have to be victim to it. You don't have to sabotage yourself for it. You don't have to hate yourself for the decisions you've made. You've come to this point. You're here. You're receiving this information. It's for a reason. And even if any of this is triggering, yeah, good. That's good. You're allowing stuff to come up so it can be released. So you can have more empty space in your body to embody more of your pure being, to then create and live a life that is truly according to your taste. Nobody can know your taste fully other than you. But if you don't allow yourself to see the truth of the moment, then you choose separation, you choose to lie, you choose to not change anything. And then we end up in those circles that we kind of spiral back to victim mentality, and we don't know how to get out of there, right? Is that what you really want to feel? Right? No. So to remove the obstacles that seem like obstacles in your life, you need to look at them first. Observe them. Give them space that, yeah, I see that this thing is not working out in my life. This is how it makes me feel. I don't like to feel this way. Right? You go deep with the feeling. You allow yourself to feel it deeply and 100%. And it's just energy you're feeling, right? So we were also talking about like feminine and masculine energy, right? We are all using feminine and masculine energy all the time. But what I've come to realize that is, especially with like releasing shadow and releasing like traumatic energy from my body, is that when I only use my feminine energy, as in I am thinking about like I'm only thinking about things. I'm thinking about things that hurt me. I only live internally with my emotions. I only like go through things that upset me mentally. I only circulate the energy within me. I don't give it any actual space to manifest, right? And what I've experienced is like, yeah, but what if it comes true? So here's the thing. When you, in your feminine energy, only like keep turning the thoughts, the energies around you, it becomes your subconscious. It becomes the undercurrent of your subconscious. And if all your fears and the energies and the things you're scared of, though, if this is what your subconscious is made of, that's what's going to manifest. If you're always keeping a weight on this undercurrent, and you choose to not look at the truth that is there, this is what manifests, right? But now let's say you take off the blindfold, so to speak, and you sit with what's going on in the undercurrent. You allow yourself to feel each and every discomfort that's going on in your body, in your feelings, in your mind, whatever. Let's say you give it space through writing. Let's say you give it space through talking. That is giving it room. That is giving it love. That is you observing it. And that is using your masculine energy. Masculine energy brings to life the desires of the feminine energy, right? So in your feminine energy, you desire not to feel anxious anymore, right? But you are not allowing yourself to look at the things, look at the emotions, look at the triggers that make you anxious. You avoid them, thinking that if I allow myself to get anxious, I'm gonna have a panic attack, this is gonna happen, that is gonna happen. That is the subconscious trying to save you from that anxiety. But then you manifest a triggering situation at the grocery store where you're having a panic attack. right? That is that energy bursting out like a volcano, manifesting, because that's your undercurrent. That's what's going on in there, right? So in the end, the result is that we get so stiff and so stuck and so running around in circles that we don't even see the undercurrent. We don't even know the root cause of anything that is going on in our life. And that's when people feel like, oh, life is happening to me, not for me, right? And what I've experienced in my life is that when I allow myself to slowly, not go from 0 to 100, be like, if I get to release this one thing, all those other things are going to release as well, and then I'm going to be healed, right? No. What I experience is that when I allow myself to each moment respect and honor my emotions and express those emotions, not suppress them. If I need to express my boundaries, I will in a way that feels good to me and feels right to me in the moment. If I feel a certain emotion, if I feel a certain emotion towards somebody because somebody triggered me, I'm going to tell them that. Because if I don't allow myself to do that, I'm going to think about it and store that energy in my body because it has no way to be released to the right place, right? And you can notice that when you are mad at somebody and you talk to somebody else about it, it doesn't resolve it. You need to talk to the person it's about, right? And when you have right people around you, when you can go and tell them everything. You can explain to them exactly how you feel within you and how you feel about the situation. And it's not about upsetting someone or being too much or like, I can't say this and that. That's your shadow. That's that anxious undercurrent already trying to like suppress things so you wouldn't potentially die, right? That's fear of death is always like the bottom of things, right? Or like big emotions. And that's like, if you suppress your anxiousness, you suppress like, oh, I can't tell them how I feel about them, it might upset them, I can't tell the truth. When that well gets full, then you start suppressing good emotions. You won't allow yourself to feel love. You won't allow yourself to feel good. You only allow it to a certain extent. And when that like limit is reached, you get anxious and you're like, I cannot allow myself to feel this good emotion. It's too much. So we don't allow ourselves to feel love. Even if it's pure love wanting to come towards us, everybody talking about twin flames and soulmates. How are you going to allow that in your life when you don't allow big emotions? Because love is so big. It's beyond us. Love is so big. And when you're so full of trauma, so full of energy, like traumatic energy that is stuck in your body, where are you going to put that? With what are you going to receive it? With what are you going to feel it? There's no space for it. You won't even be in the same wavelength to see the person you might feel like in your body like, yeah, this is what I like. Okay, I'll give it, like, I'll be really open about myself in this department, right? Like I've always loved deep brown eyes and like dark hair. I like eyes in general, but something about deep brown eyes is just really my whole life it's been like mystical to me, right? So I did this like I wrote out how do I want to feel in a relationship? How do I want to feel with this person? How do I feel when I'm with them? what do I want to experience in that relationship and stuff like that. And in that moment it felt like a meditation, it felt like a dance, it felt like so like yin and yang, and it felt so beautiful, it felt divine, all of that. And and then I was like, oh yeah, like I wrote down the taste, the energetic taste, and all of that. I wrote it out, and I still have it. And I sometimes I kind of like energetically feel feel the energies from there, what I wrote down. And then new people came into my life, and a few who are now dear friends of mine. And one of my good friends, she oh, this is coming like a full circle. This is like a diary entry for me. I'm getting teary now. Oh, I didn't even realize these were connected so much. Anyway, I am not trying to, and I never recommend, like in my work I always say, like, take it baby steps. Always baby steps. Even when like expressing your truth, you don't have to go tell your mother all the way she's like being emotionally unavailable for you, whatever it is. You don't have to go for that big thing immediately. Start small. Trust, like, when do you want to go to sleep? When do you want to wake up? When do you want to eat? What do you want to eat? Do you need water? Do you need sleep? What do you need in a moment, right? So I've done that for years now, and I've built trust within me that even when like stuff hits the fan and I'm going into my hermit mode, and I am in my melancholy, I know what it is. It doesn't mean it's not tough, doesn't mean it, it doesn't feel good, but I am aware of what's happening, and I'm like gentle with myself. But like I've always taken it like step at a time. And when this new friend came into my life, I was like, hey, I'm finally like manifesting my soul family. Like I see them coming in like physically now, and it never felt like giddy or like butterflies in my body. It felt like, oh, I have accepted so much of myself and created so much space in myself that here I am receiving those people now. And with her, we both immediately felt like, oh, you are my person, like you are my soul family. Like this deep connection I felt with her. And that, like, all the deep connections, even with my clients, I have amazing people that I work with, that feel so deeply, and that like opens me up to feel deeply too, right? So with her, I immediately felt so deeply, and deep presence, deep calm, deep like soul love. It's that kind of love where you like the gender, it's nothing to do with the human side or the gender side. It's just two souls really connecting and being like, hey, I remember you. And she really has shown me that the places where I still don't allow myself to receive love, be it through things or just ways of acting, or something she does for me, or stuff like that. Because it's so easy for me to do those things, but be the other side, like the receiving side of it, and allow myself to be open to it, not it being like, oh, it's scary, because it's a big emotion, and in the nervous undercurrent, big emotions were a threat, right? And I am at a place now that those big emotions, they're not even big in a way that they are a threat, but they're big in a way that they're deep. They're deep, they're pure, they are always in the present moment, and they're always there. Nobody can take it away from you. Like, there's no such thing as like, oh, what if I say the wrong thing and we don't talk anymore? What if I like move away or move to another country and we don't talk anymore? Then that's how it is, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? And that feels amazing, where you don't have an immediate attachment, like, oh, this is my person, I need to hold on to them with all I got. I cannot let them go. You can let them go. You can always let them go, because it's not about that. So she has really shown me like how to receive from a loving place, to receive triggers from a loving place, to receive love from a deep place, like deep seeing, deep feeling. And the way that in the past 6 months, since like I moved to a different city, like my hometown in Pärnu, here the new people I've met, the new connections I've met, they have all shown me how me feeling so deeply is a true gift, and me feeling so deeply is the purest form of me. And it's so nice that to feel free in that, to feel like I can always say what I want to say, I can always feel how I feel. Nothing's going to happen to me, even when I am when I feel broken, when I feel like something that is releasing is like taking a toll on me, and I don't have space for anybody. I don't have to have space for anybody to come in themselves and love me, right? And a space, in a way, I feel like in this context, I feel space as in like I don't have any energy to communicate to anybody, because I don't have to be anything. I can just, the truth of how I am right now is perfect, right? It's just being honest with yourself, honoring yourself and the other, because there's no separation. So this short message that was supposed to be short and now is close to an hour long conversation, it's been really healing for me. And I think I want to share something else, just so you know that I don't know, for me it helps to hear other people's experiences of how they have worked with the tool that they're presenting, as I am kind of today, right? So in the context of receiving love, or receiving yourself, or opening up yourself, again coming back to the feminine and masculine energy, I had this experience the other day. I was working. I work part-time at a cafe here in Pärnu called Sonne. So if you're a tourist in Pärnu, you can come say hi. Anyway, I had this lovely experience with a customer there the other day, where it was extremely busy, and I was just doing my thing kind of like automatically. And it's funny because going to work in Sonne has shown me that the way that my own masculine energy was so restricting and toxic. Anyway, that's again another story. But I noticed that in Sonne, working there, I really easily shift into my masculine energy of just go do, right? And not so much of the feminine of like flowing, you know? Yeah, so there was this customer who came in, and he obviously had beautiful brown eyes, so I was immediately drawn to them. and we didn't like we talked like customer and a client, but his energy had such a presence that I was like, wow, this man right here is really connected to his divine masculine energy. He was really grounded in it. He was really present in it, and he didn't like vocalize it anyway. It was just the way he was, and you could tell that he was like, obviously he was a tourist in Brno, and he felt so good in his presence. He felt so good in the truth of where he was, what he was, with who he was, and it was so refreshing that I was kind of like dumbfounded by it. It was like kind of slap in the face of like, I never experienced, like actually in my physical life here in Estonia, I haven't seen such a divine masculine in his like truest human form, if that makes sense. And it was so beautiful because it wasn't anything about like having a crush or falling in love or blah, blah, blah. It wasn't anything like butterfly or anything like this. It was just like recognizing the energy and honoring the energy. And I noticed that, like, obviously when I took his order and started making the stuff, it was still busy. I was still like rushing around, but his presence in that room, even though we didn't talk after that, his presence was so like he's, how do I say it? His divine masculine presence within him made my divine feminine energy open up, where, like, again, I wasn't talking to him, I was continuing being busy, doing stuff, doing work, but like in an instant it shifted from my own masculine energy to my feminine energy that was opened and activated by his divine masculine presence. And that's the first time I felt like this, and that was exactly like what I had put down as like, how do I want to feel with my partner, with my person. I want to feel like a divine feminine in his divine masculine presence. And of course, like I said before, we are always working within us with our divine and masculine energy. But I think it was Teal Swan who said that the divine feminine cannot fully open and bloom and be in its full potential energy without the divine masculine. And then I was sharing this experience with a friend of mine, and I told her that we as females, as women, we create this within us. We create this unnatural is not the right word. What is the right word here to express this? Okay, we as women create in ourselves surface level masculine energy so we can taste our divine feminine energy. And I haven't experienced it like this before, but now that I have, I can say that yes, women can access their divine feminine to a certain point. And I don't know how to explain you at this point, but it's just something you feel. And we like boss babe, make things happen with our masculine energy, but it's not always divine masculine energy. It can be, but that divine energy, that divine masculine energy doesn't fully bloom our divine feminine energy. A man, a physical human man, in his divine masculine presence and energy can do that, like bring that up in a woman without him actually doing, saying anything. Being a presence, being the presence, making the feminine flow so easily and so effortlessly. So that was just my experience. If you've had any experiences like that with divine and masculine energy, like in the physical, not with, you know, in yourself, you can let me know. It's really curious. It's just, it happened to me like the day before yesterday, so it's like a new thing that I'm still processing in myself. But now that I felt that with my like physical presence, it's again like I see how my pure being, or my soul, or my essence is like baby steps, showing me the fulfillment of my desire of a relationship. It's not from 0 to 100, like, oh yeah, here's your divine partner, and you're like, I don't see them, I don't know what to do with them, I don't know how to receive this. But it can come through whatever, and if you are willing to receive it through whatever, you can receive it, you know, as a fulfillment of your desire or your taste too. Okay. Is there anything else I wanted to share with this? Yeah, just yeah, if there's anything you want to ask me, or yeah, ask me so I can talk about it, you can let me know. And I just, yeah, I enjoy this present moment of feeling calm and gentle and all soft and gooey in my presence. And I don't like feel like rushing anywhere. I don't feel like I have to do or be anything. I just am, and that feels good, and that feels so perfect. And yeah, I will let you know if I figure anything else out or experience anything else. But yeah, I hope this was insightful for you. Let me know how you feel in your body in this present moment. What is the truth of your being in this moment? And I'm also gonna ask you, like, just see what comes up. What does your pure essence or your pure being want to express through you at this time, in this season of your life? You can write it down, answer it for yourself, or you can write to me in the comments. Just take note of what wants to come through you now. Honor it. Honor whichever shape it wants to come through, whichever way, because that is authentic, pure, and divine for you. So thank you for being here with me, and take care. Bye. Oh, Ganesha, that was lovely. Thank you for being here. I realized with the shirt as well, I put the sun and the moon, the masculine and feminine together, and they're connected with the rainbow and receiving. So that shirt is also divine. Lovely.